Hey, what's up, everybody? Another week, another AEW Dynamite beach break this time. So, what's going on today for you, my friend?
Not too much. Just breaking the beach,
Yeah,
I guess.
whatever that means. But yeah,
Yeah.
quite a newsworthy episode of AEW Dynamite, so to speak.
Indeed.
Mostly because of the shenanigans of the wedding, right? Right?
I told you it would go off without a hitch, didn't I? It was beautiful. Beautiful
I
ceremony.
mean, yeah.
What a wonderful occasion.
Yeah. But I mean,
What a tear to the eye.
isn't that the big news of the week, though?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Well, maybe there might be something else toward the latter part of the show, but
Can't think of anything that could probably top that wedding.
I guess we'll see. Kind of a interesting night, so to speak, but we'll get there. So we start off AEW Dynamite, February 3rd, 2021, beach break with the tag team battle royal. The winner of this match gets the title shot at Revolution coming up next month. So they mentioned that FTR is out, and Silver and Reynolds are their replacement. We don't know why FTR is out, like for really, but we know that FTR was banned because of what they did storyline wise to Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus after the match with Dax and Jungle Boy last week. So I didn't know this, and I guess we didn't find out until a little bit in the match, where there's some tag team battle royals where as if your tag team partner is eliminated, then you're also eliminated, but I guess they're not doing it that way, right? But what did you you like this one? What did you think of this one?
I don't think it was as good as the one last year when the Young Bucks won to face Hangman and Omega, but it was good. Like we talked about last week, it's really odd that one faction can field three teams.
Especially when that faction last week had a match to decide which one of the teams was going to be the official one tag team of their faction.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's not like AEW is short of any tag teams. I mean, I could name 5 or 6 off the top of my head, right? That weren't in this battle royale, not including FTR. You know, and
why don't you name
them? So it was kind of,
Why don't you name
Varsity
them?
Blondes?
Oh yeah,
TH2, Bear Country, Lucha Brothers.
Did you know who Bear Country was before tonight? Bullshit. I call foul. And you also didn't even mention anybody from Team Taz, any combo from Team Taz.
Are they really legitimate tag teams, though?
They're Team Taz. I don't care if they're legitimate or not. They're Team Taz. They can do whatever they want, as far as I'm concerned, because it's always entertaining as hell.
Going back to what I said, though, I named 5 tag
but
teams.
You didn't answer my question, though. Did you know who the hell Bear Country was before tonight?
I actually did, because I read up on the dark results.
Okay. Could you have picked them out?
2 big white guys? Yeah.
What are their names?
Bear Bronson and Bear Johnson, I think. I'm not
Is that their name?
Up. I'm not making this up.
Otis and Tucker?
Yeah.
It's not Bear Otis and Bear Tucker? Okay.
Dale and Earl? I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, to the Battle Royal itself.
It was fine. It was good. It was it did what it needed to do. It was good for what it was. I didn't really know how it was going to go down until obviously probably the last 10 guys, maybe 5 guys. I was like, okay, I think I know how this is going to go down. But I was surprised at some of the people who made it to the end, and we can get into that as we go on. Yeah,
I didn't really know either. But out first comes the Inner Circle, all 3 of them together. Out come 2 shitty rappers after that. Then out come the Young Bucks. And the Bucks jump off the stage to start the match, and the Bucks are brawling with Santana and Ortiz, and I'm like, yes, this is the damn match. This is the just never mind this whole thing. Just the Young Bucks and Santana Ortiz on the pay-per-view. Never mind this whole battle royal shit. But anyway, the eliminations come quick, so I'm just gonna list them. Dante is out by Private Party. Reynolds is out by Hager. Hager gets thrown out by the Dark Order. Matt is out there. So Matt Jackson gets thrown out onto the stage, and we're not sure if the stage counts as the floor. And you can tell Excalibur like hesitates for a minute, right? He's just like, Matt Jackson thrown.
Yeah, he didn't complete his sentence. Thrown out.
Oh, okay, yeah, Matt Jackson is out. I can't believe it. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I guess they didn't tell him.
Yeah. So Bowens is out. Luchasaurus is beating up everyone. Grayson is out by a Lucha chokeslam onto Bowens, but not really, because I think I don't know if Luchasaurus did it too quickly or Bowens was out of place or a combo of both, but it looked pretty bad where Bowens didn't really catch him and they both looked like they got wiped out by this chokeslam. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't think it's I won't like blame anybody and say like, oh, somebody screwed up, but damn, it looked like it hurt.
Right? It didn't look right. It didn't look proper. That's right. Yeah.
So Uno and Silver oust Luchasaurus. Uno is out by MJF while Uno starts posing, and they like JR point set out like, well, you know, posing in this battle royal and you got eliminated, idiot. So Mark Quinn is out by Darius, and so Quinn jumps up onto the apron because he's gonna attack Darius. So I like that the refs are like stopping him from getting in and affecting the match, like Hulk Hogan did he robbed Sid in that Royal Rumble that one year. You remember that? You remember that? So there's this one,
Vaguely.
The one that Ric Flair actually won to win the title was Sid threw out Hogan, and poor sport Hogan just goes, and he just grabs Sid and he pulls Sid out and eliminates him. It's like, how was Hulk Hogan the good guy when we were kids? I have no idea. He was such an asshole.
He won everything when we were kids, which was insane when you look back on it. I looked back on some of this stuff and watched some videos of like everything that he was, winning and all the main events and everything he was in. He was literally in every main event for like 4 years.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that if people like him, but when you look back at it, he was such a prick. He was such a bad guy. Like, he hit the $1 Million Man with a chair so that Macho Man could win the title. He just did a lot of he was such a poor sport about everything. When he did lose, on the rare occasion he lost, he was such a poor sport about it. He wasn't a real American. Let's just put it that way.
I was actually going to say the opposite. Doesn't that sound like the American way to you?
Well, the American way nowadays, but back then, not so much. Anyway, Silver takes out Santana. Oh no, Silver is taken out by Santana and Ortiz. I'm sorry. Nick takes out the Inner Circle with a diving crossbody. Then he runs wild. Ortiz and Santana are eliminated by Nick. The Good Brothers are at ringside. They pull down the ropes and eliminate Isaiah Cassidy. Nick is like, what the fuck? And then MJF eliminates Nick. Jericho and MJF do the Young Bucks pose. And at this moment, we all know that MJF and Jericho are winning this match because they do the pose. So the final 6 is Jericho, MJF, Sammy, Caster, Jungle Boy, and Darius. Jungle Boy is tossed out by MJF. I thought he was going to last till the end. Caster in this match, when he was wrestling in this final 5, I thought he looks better as a good guy. I don't know why he's stuck with this like rapper dumb asshole gimmick. He looks better as a good guy. That's just my opinion. Sammy kicks Caster and he's sad, but MJF thanks Sammy because MJF thinks Sammy kicks Caster on purpose to save him. Darius dumps Caster. Jericho, Sammy, and Darius are the top 3. And then Jericho inadvertently eliminates Sammy, or was it? But Darius is up on the apron. He tries a springboard. Jericho counters the springboard with a Judas effect for the W. So MJF and Jericho hug in the ring, and Sammy walks off, all pissed off and not happy about the results. But yeah, this was, I thought it was okay. Like you said, it probably wasn't as good as last year's, but whatever.
Couple things. You nailed it pretty much from the beginning about I wanted Santana and Ortiz to be the ones to kind of get out of this and wrestle the Young Bucks, because I really want them to wrestle again, because they're great when they wrestle each other.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Santana and Ortiz as the AEW champions.
I think that also would make the storyline more interesting too, right? MJF and Jericho are supposed to be the official tag team of the Inner Circle now. But then Santana and Ortiz win the match. It's like, well, we won the match. And it's like, So we're
gonna go to
we're
Revolution.
gonna get the title shot. Too bad. We don't care if you're the and that can create some of the tension of
more friction.
The inner circle. Speaking of inner circle, what is that? What shirt you got on there?
It's another inner circle shirt, actually. Now that you mention
that's very nice. Huh? That's very nice. Yeah.
What about you? What is that? Darkness Club.
Yeah, so this is another gift I got. Lots of people give me lots of gifts because I'm so beloved, and I have no idea what these things are, but it's like a Darkness Club. It's got some skull on it. It looks like some guns. A rose.
What's that on the sleeve there? On your what is that? Your left sleeve there? Bullet Club. Yeah.
It says Bullet Club.
Related to the Bullet
I think
Club
it's some kind of like NRA thing. I don't know. I'm not myself. I'm not a gun guy, so I really don't know what the whole deal is. But hey, you know.
You don't think it's somehow tied to wrestling at all? Maybe a Japanese promotion? Because that's where Bullet Club comes from. Right?
Well, I really don't know about that, so I can't tell you. But if you say so.
Very specific gifts you're getting, yeah, with no knowledge of them.
I don't know. People just the thing about gift giving is you buy things for other people that you want them to have rather than buying something they want.
Okay.
Just a thought. So we've got our lineup for tonight. In the main event, we've got Kenny and the Good Brothers versus Moxley, Fenix, and PAC. And then we've got the wedding of Kip and Penelope Ford. Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. Hangman and Matt Hardy versus Chaos Project. Lumberjack match, Archer versus Kingston. And we're going to hear from Darby and Sting. But first, we must see a video of Jade lifting weights. And I guess she dumped Cargill because she's just Jade now, and she's got a logo. There anything you want to say about this?
It's fine, I guess.
I have one thing to say about this.
Okay, can't wait to hear it.
Why in the hell is this airing now?
Yeah, that's true.
Why wasn't this the first thing they ever showed of Jade? Because if this was the first thing they showed of Jade, I would be like, oh, this is some badass chick. She's like lifting weights. She's lifting way more weights than I can. And she looks jacked and she looks like an athlete. And it was like, wow, okay, I'm excited to see this Jade girl. And then, but the damage has been done. And It's like, who the hell cares by this point? Certainly not most of the internet, from what I hear.
It's like, so we've talked about this so many times, but you bring up a good point. This should have been one of the first things they ever aired about her, instead of just her coming out and mouthing off to Cody, which made me immediately dislike her. I mean, not that anything against Cody. It's just like, who are you to be telling Cody? And then I guess
and picking a fight with Brandy is like,
yeah, the chief brand officer, like, they can just fire you, This is ridiculous.
It's like, are you even hired here? Like, who are you? Like, okay.
So, yeah, they're trying to make her out to be something, and it's not working. I don't know what the right avenue to take would be in that regard, but they should just let her just kind of fade away for now. Until the match, honestly, I think. I know they're trying to build a match, but maybe until the week of the match, they shouldn't do anything with her, Yeah. Maybe you forget about her, and then she suddenly comes out. Maybe she screws up.
And maybe she's super good or something. Or who the hell knows? Maybe she comes out in the match and she's like this total, like, she's like Rey Fenix and Brian Cage. The power of Brian Cage and the athleticism of Rey Fenix. Who knows? Yeah. I'm going to bet on no, but you never. But... Hey, stranger things have happened, right? So next up, we're gonna hear from Darby and Sting. So they announced that Darby will defend the TNT Championship next week on Dynamite against Joseph Janela. I'm gonna say this right here, right now, and this will be maybe the last time I'm gonna say it, but probably not. But hopefully, the last time I'm gonna say this. This whole thing about AEW wins and losses matter.
We both know this will not be the last time you say this.
No.
This will be the last time you say this in February or maybe this week.
Okay, maybe I'm not going to say it ever again. I will say it again, but I'm done caring about it. I'm done pretending like it's an actual thing because every time Joey Janela is on Dynamite, he gets his ass beat, and there was that one match where Jericho just ripped him apart. He got no offense, and then there was a match where Kenny just destroyed him.
Same thing, yeah.
No offense
He was
at all.
playing with him,
yeah. And then now he's got a TNT championship. Like, okay.
Yeah, I know.
I
was surprised.
So yeah, maybe I'll have to bring up that this whole wins and losses matter thing is a whole bunch of crap, but I'm done caring about it. Just whatever. Anyway, before we even get to Darby and Sting, we hear from Team Taz, so they don't disappoint us this week. We get a preemptive, what does Team Taz think about this? And they're outside the building, and they say they were punished for taking out those scrubs selling shirts last week, and they're not allowed inside the building, and they threaten Darby, and they say they might get up close and personal next week. And Stark says he doesn't think Sting is the same man from the past. You'll get hurt in the jungle. And then Sting says he's going to be there next week to make sure Team Taz doesn't interfere. And if Ricky Starks doesn't see the icon, then he better take a better look. Any thoughts?
Funny that Team Taz wasn't allowed in the building, but yet they were allowed mic time.
Yeah, they were allowed a video to get played on Dynamite. A live mic, no less, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was classic. It's like we weren't allowed in the building, but it's funny. A camera crew was out here and had a mic that we could use. Weird.
Yeah,
it would have been great if they weren't allowed in the building and they just guerrilla'd some camera crew. And it's like, listen, we got something to say. That would have been awesome. Like, we're not allowed in the building, but we found a way to get in anyways.
Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense. But whatever, it's pro wrestling.
I know, it was just funny.
You gotta let some shit slide.
I almost wish sometimes, because AEW is pretty good about this, breaking down the kind of like, for lack of a better term, the fourth wall, I guess, the illusion. It would have been funny if either Sting or Darby said, funny you weren't allowed in the building, like they brought it up, but you guys have a camera crew out there. Weird. Nothing else to add. Stark was great on the mic as always. Just the right amount of condescension, it's so good.
Yeah. So we've got a video on Thunder Rosa and Britt, and that's the match next. What did you think about this match?
Actually, good.
Yeah.
I thought it had a good amount of offense. I thought it was back and forth, pretty well done. Thing about these women's matches sometimes though is the finish, man. Like I get it, but it just seemed kind of botched. I don't know, like anticlimactic.
There was one part like right before the end that was kind of weird to me. But so anyway, getting to the match. Thunder Rosa rushes out and takes out Reba before the match starts, and Britt counters into a lockjaw attempt. And I was like, how great would it have been if that was the end of the match? If she just came out and takes out Reba, and then Britt just counters into the lockjaw and just beats her right there. I was like, that would have been the best. That would have been my favorite AEW match of all time if that happened. But anyway,
so deflating, like this whole build up for 10 seconds of action.
Yeah. But anyway, they started the match right after Darby and Sting started talking. So I figured, well, we know this one's going to a commercial break, so I didn't take any notes. So back from break, Thunder Rosa hits a Death Valley driver on Britt on the stage as Rebel screams. Then Britt hits a sling blade and a super kick. She does an air raid crash and gets a 2. Britt goes for the lockjaw. Thunder gets the ropes, but Britt hits a curb stomp. And this is the part where, I don't know, was like Thunder Rosa like knocked out or something? Because this is the part where they're rolling around and Britt's trying to get the lockjaw and Thunder Rosa's trying to like secure a pin. But it was so slow and Thunder Rosa looked like out of it or something. She looked really like she was not, she didn't know where she was. Yeah. So I don't know, something was weird about this. So Thunder Rosa hits another Death Valley driver. She does a submission attempt. Reba takes out the second turnbuckle and gets in the ring and gets kicked by Thunder Rosa. Why this is not a DQ, I don't know. But Rosa counters Rosa gets countered by Britt, and she hits her face into the exposed turnbuckle, puts on the lockjaw, and the ref stops the match. And I thought this was really funny because did you notice this? After the match, after the lockjaw and after the match was over, Thunder Rosa is lying on the ground with her arm contorted like she's in Family Guy. You know, like how in Family Guy when they get injured, they're all like mangled, and it just looked like that.
It kind of did. That's actually a pretty good point. Yeah.
So I don't know, like I don't know why, but I enjoy Thunder Rosa getting beat up for some reason.
This match was a lot more physical than I thought it would be. It was pretty. I want to say there was some real shots. I could be wrong, but
maybe
it looked like they were really trying to hurt each other. I'm not sure. I like Reba as a character. She's just this bumbling assistant who's trying to help her, wrestler win and everything like that. But sometimes I can't tell if it's for real bumbling or she's really or it's just part of the act.
I think
when she took off the turnbuckle.
I think there's there's a good mix of she's just really bumbling in there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she was taking off the turnbuckle, like you said, in front of the ref and everything. And it looked like, God, could you have done that any more sloppier? Like, it looked like anyone with half a brain would realize you're interfering in the match. It was so obvious. So I couldn't tell, like, is she just really that bad? Or is this part of her act, So.
Yeah, so this part was really weird. They say that Matt Hardy wants a match against Chaos Project because Chaos Project ruined Negative One's birthday party last week. But
that was 2 weeks ago. It was, this was taped from last week, referring to the week before's birthday party.
Okay,
right?
Anyway, that's not the important part. The important part is, for some reason, Matt Hardy is upset about it. Not the Dark Order. Matt Hardy is upset at the Chaos Project for ruining his birthday party. But Tony Khan says, well, you can only have a tag team match against Chaos Project only if Hangman agrees to be your tag team partner. What the hell? Talk about out of left field, right?
Talk about a winding road to get to this point.
Like, I don't understand why they couldn't just announce, hey, Matt Hardy and Hangman versus Chaos Project.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
Like, would we have not accepted that? Would we have been like, this makes no sense. Why are they wrestling Chaos Project? I don't know why. It's like, why?
It makes less sense.
Why all this story of like Matt Hardy wants revenge for ruining Negative One's party, and Tony Khan
do it with Hangman.
Tony Khan says only if Hangman agrees to be his partner. But they show a flashback video of Hangman says, I'm not trying to be in a tag team or sign one of your Carney contracts. And Hardy says, come on, they ruined the party. And then Hangman's like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. So then we got Hangman.
And pretty much how we felt going into this match. Yeah, whatever.
Hangman and Matt versus Chaos Project. What did you think?
Much like the storyline reasoning for this match, it was passable.
Okay. So
the match was fine.
Did you notice Hangman's graphic blurb?
Oh yeah, that was great.
He says his graphic says he lost $400 playing stocks. Oh yeah,
that's not that bad considering people.
Not that bad at all. Yeah, he probably bought like what, 1 share or something, 2 shares.
1 share of GME. Yeah.
So anyway, the story of this match is Serpentico must have done something in real life backstage to piss someone off, because Hangman and Matt Hardy proceed to beat the crap out of Serpentico the entire match. That's pretty much what this match was. They beat the crap out of Serpentico. Serpentico and Luther get in a little bit of offense, but then they beat up Serpentico even more. And they beat the crap out of Serpentico. Hangman does a dive onto Luther. Luther tries a cannonball. He misses. And then Hangman hits a buckshot on Serpentico. Matt tags in, and he gets the pin on Serpentico. Matt goes for the high five, and Hangman's like, you just stole the pin from me, you jerk. And then finally Hangman raises his hand. But it pretty much was just they just wanted to beat up Serpentico for some reason. I have no idea. I don't know what this guy did, but I hope I hope his debt is paid because
His sins have been
he took a beat down in this match.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I don't know either, but you're right. Even Luther was that's half of Luther's moves are just using Serpentico.
yeah, he even crushed Serpentico in that one move, right? And Serpentico's like, no. I don't know if that's like one of their signature moves or something, but
oh, it was classic. Yeah. It was so good. He has no friends in that match, even his own tag team partner.
His own partner is beating him up. So they announce the Women's Championship Title Eliminator Tournament. And there's going to be matches from USA and Japan. There's two sides of the bracket. So on the Japanese side, there's Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, Veni, Emi Sakura, Ryo Mizunami, Mei Suruga, Rin Kadokura, and Maki Ito. And on the US side, we've got Serena Deeb, Riho, who's on the US side for some reason, but okay. Britt Baker, Ty Conti, Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose, Anna Jay, and Layla Hirsch. So something to look forward to. I'm guessing probably going to be Yuka from the Japanese side.
And, oh yeah, she's signed as AEW, right?
Yeah. Luca and probably Riho, Britt, or Nyla Rose. I'd be surprised if it was anybody else.
I'm surprised Big Swole's not in there.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even notice that. Where the hell is Big Swole? Why isn't she in this?
Yeah, shockingly, I was waiting for her name to be called too, and she wasn't. Abaddon, for whatever reason, not in there.
Well, I didn't think Abaddon would be in there. She just lost. It was
oh, that's right. You're right.
Sheeta's last title defense was against Abaddon, so I was like, they probably wouldn't put Abaddon in there.
That makes sense. You're right. You're right.
But yeah, I guess the big announcement here is that Riho's coming back. So that's good.
And the fact that there's a Japanese division of women wrestlers.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, none of these girls have been really like a big part of AEW. I guess Yuka has been, but Riho's was the first champion, and she's been gone for like over a year. So
that's true.
The bigger news is with her. So we've got Alex Marvez in the back. He's looking for Jericho and MJF, and they say they're the future tag team champs, and they got the bubbly, and they walk into the locker room, and doesn't look like the inner circle's too happy. And Sammy questions why, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And, Jericho says, it's all in the family, it's collateral damage. And Sammy says, well, why are we always the collateral damage? And he says, Chris, you said it's all about family, but sometimes he's not so sure. And he walks out. And Jericho follows him. And then MJF says, boys, it's time we had a conversation. And Wardlow closes the door. So they're alluding to MJF trying to get the other guys to maybe kick Sammy out, is what I'm thinking. Or how did you take this MJF thing?
Yeah, that's the easiest answer. But I'm also wondering if he's just planting the seeds of doubt about Jericho as well, right?
Why would he be planting the seeds of doubt about Jericho though? Because he's the tag team. He's in the tag team with Jericho right now.
That's true. But if things don't go his way, right, he can honestly, go back to what he just said to these guys right here in this place, an instant, saying like, look, Jericho, is the weak link. He called you guys collateral damage. See? MJF didn't say that. Chris Jericho did. Yeah.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You think he's just trying to get Sammy out?
I think he's trying to get Sammy out. See, like
this
Sammy guy is like a little bitch, and we got to get him out.
That would probably be the.
I mean, it could be what you said,
biggest,
but you never. Well, we'll see. So Tony with the groom, and they're all happy about Miro makes a joke about everybody being married, but Chuck's never had a girlfriend in his life. So they've got the wedding all set up for the ring. They say James Mitchell is the official, and they say, oh, he looks like a minister. It's like, oh, he looks sinister. So Vicky Guerrero, Miro, and Chuck walk Kip to the aisle, and Jim Ross jokes everyone deserves at least one marriage. Like, that's pretty funny. And Penelope is walked out by Jerry Lynn, and her wedding dress is a mix of wedding dress, lingerie, and wrestling gear. Okay. So
she's expecting something to go down.
I guess she's the smartest person in this ring.
Yeah.
But so they do the vows. Kip says from the first time he saw her, he knew it was meant to be by looking at her chest. You know, she's beautiful on the inside and damn hot on the outside. Penelope says, Kip, baby, I love you so much, and you have the biggest. And Kip cuts her off and says, oh, you know, I know how much you love me, blah, blah, blah. Charles has the rings. Kip says, I do. Penelope says, I do. Then Mitchell starts saying, if anyone has anything to say. Miro cuts him off and says, no, we're not going to do that. They kiss. They're married. Yay. And then
what a beautiful segment.
This was
so nice.
This was fine. Yeah, this was good. And then the best man Miro has a toast. Miro says he is Kip's presence because he is knowledge, power, all that crap. And there's some big box in the corner of the ring, and Miro's like, what the hell is this? Charles says, that's for me. And Miro, being smarter than everybody, destroys the box, but there's nothing in it. And he says, and he asks, you know, what is love? And the crowd starts singing, baby, don't hurt me. And so they all sing the song. And then Miro tells them to shut up. But now Miro, for some reason, he tells Chuck to go clean up the present that he just destroyed. So while he was doing that, Chuck has handcuffed Miro's leg to the bottom rope. And then Charles punches Kip and Penelope into the cake. Miro holds Chuck, but he ducks and Kip hits Miro. Miro looks like he's pissed at Kip now. And then Penelope jumps on Chuck, but Orange Cassidy is in the cake, and he gives Kip the beach break. And Penelope is crying to end the segment. So before I say what I want to say, I'll let you go first.
What an excellent segment from start to finish. And by start to finish, I mean the beginning and the end of the wedding. Until it completely devolved into chaos. I don't know what to say.
How are they the good guys? The segment ended with the bride crying. I don't care if she's the biggest bitch in the world and the most dastardly, vile, cruel, most wretched human in the universe. You ruined somebody's wedding. How are you the good guys?
I don't know where they're going with this, man.
You made the bride cry on her wedding day, and you made her like face first plant into the cake. You are not the good guys.
Are the best friends supposed to be the heels that we like?
I don't know why. I don't know how they're supposed to be the good guys in all of this. I guess I'm the only one because I don't know.
No, I'm right there with you. I have more against this whole angle than just the best friends, though. Like it's been built on such shoddy reasoning, even from a wrestling storyline. And here we are, you know, week in and week out, and we're still, you know, treading water. And it's like you said, who are the good guys in this? Like in this case, yeah, what the best friends did was fucked up.
Nobody really is the good guys because they're all.
At the end of the day, I'm not rooting for either of them. I just want it to be over, honestly. I want him to move on to the new storyline already. All right. Yeah. Get this rivalry over with, personally. So, who knows now? Obviously, it's not going to be over because they can't end it like this, right?
I guess they can't. But I just don't see how the best friends are supposed to be likable, and I'm supposed to cheer for them after they ruin the wedding. Like, I don't care if, like I said, I don't care if Kip and Penelope are bad people. Or Miro or whatever. You ruin somebody's wedding. That's crossing the line, right? It's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to believe this is a real wedding, so there you go. But anyway, we've got a little segment from the NBA. Shaq, he says he's gonna wrestle Cupcake Cody. And they, you know, Kenny and Chuck says, you know, what are you going to do? You got to move? And he says, yeah, I got to move. It's called the Black Tornado.
Black Tornado.
Which is kind of like a left hand Judas effect, but he does it on the divider, the glass divider on the TNT inside the NBA studios, and they said it's going to be on March 3rd, Dynamite, and it's going to be
shocking.
Cody and Red Velvet versus Jade and Shaq. So, yeah,
I'm glad this is finally coming to an end.
Yeah, so it looks like they're gonna do the what do you call? The NBA is trying to do the All-Star game on that same day as Revolution, so that's why they're gonna have. I mean, obviously they wanted Shaq to be on the pay-per-view, right? But it looks like they're gonna have to do it on March 3rd on Dynamite because March 7th is also gonna be the NBA All-Star game. So kind of, well, I guess it was the NBA, right? But TNT probably was like, no. But well, I'm sure AEW.
Really good thing.
I'm sure AEW was like, no, don't hold the damn All-Star game on the same day as our pay-per-view. But they did anyway.
Yeah, I was like, that's not good timing for AEW's part at all.
Not at all.
To have that. Yikes. Oh well. Shit.
So now we've got the Lumberjack match between Eddie Kingston and Lance Archer. How did you like this one?
It wasn't as good as last week's match. Or was it last week that they fought each other?
It was last week.
Right?
It was
last week, right? Yeah. It was fine for what it was. I will say one thing, a little bit of foreshadowing here. They're making Lance Archer to be a face, huh?
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. I was first off, I was surprised at who the Lumberjacks were, and I was like, oh, okay. It's obvious that these guys are on Kingston's side. Well, Butcher and the Blade are obviously on Kingston's side, and everyone else was, I guess, on that side beating the shit out of Archer every time he was thrown out of the ring. But the other side were all faces, and I was like, "Are these guys Archers, Lumberjacks?" And
you know
were.
What would have been a nice touch had they done it? But I guess I don't know why. For whatever reason, they didn't do it. But you know who the Lumberjack should have been? It should have been all the random idiots that Lance Archer had beat up in the past. That would have been so awesome. And he just, like, they all are trying to get revenge on him, and he just beats the crap out of all of them right there, too, at the same time. That would have been so good. I caught on right
when you were halfway through with your sentence. I was like, that would have been so perfect. He beat up so many random jabronis and schmucks. It would have been so good.
Yep. And they pointed out, and be like, oh, look, hey, all these guys have one thing in common. These are all the guys that Lance Archer beat up. And then they're all the Lumberjacks.
Regular AEW staff members too, like with the AEW staff shirt.
Yep. The referee that he beat up that one time.
Yeah, that would have been so good. Camera guy.
Yep. So anyway, to the match. The Butcher and the Blade attack Lance, and then he grabs Peter Avalon and he holds him up against the post, and then he tries to hit him, and Lance Archer hits the post, and so Eddie attacks the Lumberjacks, and they all fight, and then Lance Archer does a fucking badass dive over the top.
Cool.
That looked cool.
That was pretty badass.
Normally, I'm not a guy that's really big on dives, but that dive looked friggin' awesome. So the bunny jumps on Archer, and then he was gonna give her the blackout, and she screams for her life. But then Eddie hits Lance with the backhand. Jake Roberts nails Angelico. We didn't really see it, unfortunately. The Blade brings in a table, and in the biggest spot of the match, Bear Bronson spears Blade through the table. And like we said before, I've never heard of these guys, so yeah.
Country, man.
But that was the biggest part of this match, and just like last week, it didn't seem like Lance Archer had much of a hard time with Eddie, other than all the interference, and he just hits the blackout, gets the 3. So yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion. Yeah.
But Lance Archer, man. Back when he was Lance Hoyt in TNA, I was kind of like, this guy's kind of a clown. Like I didn't like or hate him, but I was just like kind of like, eh. And then when he was Lance Archer, he was kind of like, eh. But within the last year, he's like turned into like, damn, this guy's like one of the best in the world now. Just out of nowhere.
I mean, just beyond the size and strength. I mean, he's a legitimate badass. He can do things that somebody his size should not be able to, like that dive you're talking about. Holy shit!
And not only that,
that was a badass spot.
They actually have a lot of like big guys who does things a big guy shouldn't do, but then it doesn't look very good. But when he does it, it actually looks really good, right?
Yeah, he often walks on the top rope too, which is insane because he's probably double the size of Rey Fenix, for example. So.
Oh man, we'll talk about that guy soon enough. But anyway, we've got a backstage segment for FTR, and if it wasn't for the main event, this might have been my favorite part of Dynamite. So Cash says, Jungle Boy, I can't believe, didn't you? I don't believe you ran to the principal's office and told on us, and that's why we're banned and we got taken out of the Battle Royal. And then Tully Blanchard brings up some pretty good points. Like one time we were banned from ringside, and then we got handcuffed to a dinosaur, and now we're banned from this Battle Royal. It's like, what the hell did we got to do? We want a title shot. And so during this whole segment, there's some annoying ass sound in the background. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell, no, I'm not like pretending here. I'm serious. Like, I'm like, what the hell, AEW? Like, you couldn't have like filmed this another, like done a second take? What is this annoying ass sound in the background? It's so distracting and annoying. But so then FTR says, well, you think we're the bad guys, and sometimes so we've got to think, what would bad men do? And they pan to the side, and Marco's stunt is tied up, and now I know what the annoying sound was, and they allude that they are gonna do something bad to Marco, and they cut off. I can't wait.
Wow, that's what you got from this? You can't wait? They kidnap some poor dude, and you're like, awesome job, FTR.
Yeah.
So,
see, unlike Penelope and Kip, Marco deserves everything he's about to get.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but
I would, and I just did.
I was kind of with you, and then I realized about probably, I want to say 2/3, 3/4 of the way through before they showed Marco, I was like, oh, I think that's somebody screaming. I think they got somebody tied up or something like that. And sure enough, I was like, who would that be? And I'm literally thinking this in my head. I'm not sarcastic.
I totally didn't get that. I totally didn't get that, the whole annoying and it sounded like screaming. I just thought it was just some random annoying sound, like some generator in the back or something.
I was like, who would they have tied up? Who does FTR have as an enemy? Obviously, the people they're talking to, they're making this video package for him, like, shit, it must be Marco. And it was Marco. I was like, oh shit, it's Marco. Oh so man. Good. That was, I have to admit, that was funny. Yeah, although I don't know if Marco deserves it, but we'll find out. We'll see what happens. Maybe they just want to have a tea party or something. It could be completely innocent.
Why would they tie him up?
Sometimes you just gotta tie people up before they see your point of view. Could be fun.
We should take that out of the video. So we don't have to present it at your trial. Anyway, next week, we've got Darby Allin versus Joey Janela for the TNT Championship. And Joey Janela says, we've got a long history and the stakes have never been higher. And I just can't help but wonder, what the hell did this guy do to get a title shot? But whatever. Jericho and MJF are taking on the Acclaimed. Cody and Lee Johnson versus Peter and Cesar Bonani.
I wrote his name down, but
which just proves that Cody will wrestle anyone to be on TV every week.
He wasn't on TV this week, surprisingly.
That's true.
Yeah.
But he can't go 2 weeks, so it's like, you know what? I gotta wrestle somebody. Like, we'll put you in there with Peter and Caesar. Done. Who's my partner? Lee Johnson. Okay. Fine, whatever. Put me on TV. I'm sorry. I don't really, it's just a running joke that Cody has like some big ego amongst the internet community, but I really don't think that, but just a running gag. We don't do running gags on this show, so.
Not at all.
Just want to clear that up.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the main event now. Kenny and the Good Brothers versus Moxley, Fenix, and PAC. And Don Callis is on commentary. And I'm thinking to myself, why the hell would AEW let this guy be on commentary? After he screwed Jon Moxley in the title match. Why would they let this guy be on commentary now?
I'm surprised they're letting him in the building, actually, now that you mention it, right?
Right?
This is like how many weeks he's been in the building after that? Like 6 weeks now? 7 weeks now? He's still being allowed in the building? Like, come on in, man. Bygones are bygones.
Yeah. So, PAC and Carl Anderson start, and I'm thinking, anyway, what's your thought on this one? Pretty crappy, right?
Oh, it was terrible. Here's what I would say if it wasn't the match of the night, and obviously
this was one of the best. This is probably one of the best matches in AEW history for me. I really like this one.
Yeah,
I really like this one.
This was probably the best 6-man I can think of in some time. Definitely, it was This time I'm not being punerific. This was nonstop action from the start to finish.
But was it really good? But was it total nonstop action?
It was total. Okay. Now that you mention it,
just making sure.
I could feel the impact coming from this match.
Oh God!
There's so much I want to say about this match, but I want you to break it down. Yeah.
So anyway, PAC and Carl Anderson start, and I'm like, this needs to be a singles match. This needs to be a singles match someday. PAC and Carl Anderson, that would be so good. So Mox and Gallows tag in. Callis says Gallows has size, and as you know, you can't teach that. Wink, wink. So Mox hit some Miz kicks and then a running knee. That's kind of new. Then Carl and Fenix is in. Callis says Kenny is next level. Tony says, with a mic in his hand, I guess he is. That was line of the that was a good one. That was line of the night for me. And Mox gets in. He runs wild. He does some dives. Kenny tries to sneak attack him. Mox reverses and tosses Kenny into the barricade. And did you notice he flexed after that? After he threw Kenny into the... He's just like... that was so awesome. So they go into picture-in-picture. And while they're in picture-in-picture, they take control of Jon Moxley. And they're back from the break. Moxley counters the Magic Killer. He tags in Fenix and he runs wild. PAC hits a beautiful shotgun drop kick on Kenny. Then PAC and Fenix double moonsault to the outside on the Good Brothers. Fenix moonsault. He does a moonsault back row into a cutter on Kenny. Then Kenny does a high angle dragon suplex by Kenny on Fenix. Liger bomb on PAC for 2. Triple team on Kenny. German by PAC for 2. Kenny hits the paradigm shift on Mox, but PAC breaks it up with a 450. Then there's just crazy action, just all over the place. Can't keep up with it. Can't write everything down. Eventually, they hit the Magic Killer on Fenix and get the W. The Good Brothers and Kenny Omega, that is. And after the match is when it really starts to hit the fan, so to speak. They keep attacking Fenix, and Mox attacks, and they beat him up. And then who else should come out for the save but Lance Archer? And he beats the crap out of everybody. And they're all, so finally, like, Lance Archer's on the outside. He's beating up everybody. And Moxley's the only one in the ring. And then some dude comes in the ring. And he beats up Jon Moxley. And he hits him with a go to sleep. It's this guy, Kenta. I guess he's some, like, AEW dark guy or something.
Oh, you don't know anything about this guy, huh? Really?
Shocking. He's Japanese, so I thought I was like, is this Michael Nagasawa?
There was one other person in the ring with them. Don't forget, Kenny was in the ring with them. He seems to know Kenny.
Yeah, it looked like Kenny. It's not Michael Nagasawa with pink hair now? With a name change?
They all look the same to you?
Hey. I'm Japanese, so there you go. Anyway, yeah, so it looked like Kenny smiles at this Kenta guy, and poses over Moxley's beaten ass. What did you think?
That was quite a shock.
What did you think about the ending segment?
Quite a shock. I did not. I don't know how you really could have seen that coming. From what I've been reading, obviously AEW is trying to put a kind of olive branch, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term, with New Japan Wrestling. Because a lot of the guys who make up the top of the roster, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, all of them were from New Japan before, and there was kind of some bad blood between AEW and New Japan even before AEW got off the ground. So now it seems like, the fruits of whatever backroom dealings they're trying to do behind the scenes is actually coming to fruition. They're allowing Kenta on national TV, TNT, AEW, to attack Jon Moxley, which is pretty insane. And some of the other stuff behind the scenes, Jon Moxley is actually, the U.S. champion for New Japan Wrestling, and they're setting that up against Kenta because Kenta is the number one contender for that title. So
okay, so you cut off for like a minute or two I think you were okay to everybody else, but in my headphones I couldn't hear you, so I'm totally ignorant to all the stuff you just said. I have no information on all of that. So anyway.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Shocking.
So I just saw this on the interwebs after that. I don't know where it was posted, but AEW filmed a little segment after Dynamite went off the air with Kenny catching up to this Kenta guy and asking Kenta, Brother Switchblade, all these dark characters, Brother Switchblade, no friggin' clue, but he says Brother Switchblade didn't tell me that he was sending over a guest, and he says, him and Kenta should team up to face Lance Archer and Jon Moxley next week. And Kenta just says, I'm not your friend, no. But I'm guessing that, it's gonna happen.
Wrestle, huh?
Yeah. Now that I think of it, this Kenta dude does kind of look like Hideo Itami from WWE.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But he didn't have pink hair, so I don't know.
You think this guy might be part of the Bullet Club? One of the Bullet Club shirts that you're repping?
No,
Go to Sleep Club, similar.
I have no idea. Why are you asking me these questions?
I think you know more than you're letting on.
No.
Actually, no, that's not possible.
You know what? You probably should.
You don't know nothing.
You probably can ask Beachblaster X. He'd probably know about this shit, but not me.
Where is that guy, anyways?
I
haven't seen him around.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyway,
he owes me money.
He owes you how much? How much does he owe you? $10.
$400.
The same amount that Hangman Page lost in the stock market.
What a surprise!
What a surprise! But anything else you want to say, or anything else you want to?
There are a couple final notes that I want to bring up.
All right.
First off, for this match, it was awesome.
Wait. Okay.
It was awesome that PAC and Fenix came out from the side entrance and met with Mox. That was a nice touch.
That was really cool.
That was cool. I was like, oh, they're coming out from the side. I was like, I wonder if they're gonna meet up with Mox or he's gonna come out later. It's like, and they all came together. That was pretty cool.
That indeed was cool.
Another note I wanted to add at the end. I agree with you that I think they claim they're better as faces than heels. Caster, I don't know. Even though he was only, kind of wrestling on his own at the end there,
he looked better as a good guy. He looked more more likable. I guess you're not supposed to be likable when you're a bad guy, but I don't know. I felt like he's miscast.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think they'd be better as faces, but actually, it kind of works against AEW. Kind of works against the grain because they had too many heels, so they could actually use them as a face team. That would be good.
Yeah,
because Private Party's kind of becoming
Private Party just team. Turned, and so I get Top Flight. I guess maybe they want to save Top Flight as the young up and coming good guy team, I guess, or something. I don't know.
And that was the other thing I wanted to mention too, was that I was surprised that Darius was one of the last men standing in the tournament, or I'm sorry, in the Battle Royale. I was like, wow. I didn't think they would lose I didn't think they would be the first two out, but I figured they would probably not make it past the mid-range of the Battle Royale. But Darius made it to the end. I was like, I guess AEW sees something in him. I mean, we've been since the beginning.
AEW no doubt sees something really big in Top Flight. That's without a question.
I'm happy for them though. They're young, but even, I'm not trying to take anything away from them because of their age. They're good for their age. I mean, they're great no matter how old they are, but considering how young they are, man, 5 years time, they'll be one of the best tag teams, I think, by far, honestly.
Yeah. By far.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point the other week about them possibly having some kind of running feud with Private Party.
That is gonna be an all-time classic rivalry.
You know what?
One day.
Now that I think about it, it could be Private Party, Top Flight, and Acclaimed, right? They're all coming together at the same time. And they're all kind of a little bit different. I mean,
yeah,
not exactly, but Acclaimed, I would say, would probably be the powerhouse team of those three. I would say I would give the edge to those guys just for pure power.
Yeah, they look like they're bigger than the other two teams. Yeah. But yeah, the Acclaim's got. I really hope. I guess I don't know. Maybe it'll get better with time. But this whole rap gimmick thing for them, it just kind of doesn't work for me. Like in ring wise, I think they're good, but I'm not really sold on this rap gimmick because it just seems kind of like
forced.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see where they go from here, man. It looks like they can't be the heel team against the Inner Circle next week. So
yeah, they won't be, definitely.
Yeah. So
especially with MJF,
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody always cheers Jericho, but MJF is.
Yeah, he's king. He's king heel.
Yeah,
King Dick.
But yeah, big newsworthy night. We've got this Kenta dude in here, so that looks like it's gonna be could be a big deal. They're bringing up those dark talent right up to Dynamite.
Can you give me that gesture again? What was that? That's the dark, or right in there, huh?
Right up,
just shoving it into Dynamite. Huh?
Yep. Is that it then?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for checking us out. You can like, subscribe, all those good things. And until then, we will see you next week, Wednesday, for another AEW Dynamite recap. Till then, be good, stay safe. Thanks for watching.
See you guys. Thanks for tuning in.